Hello everyone, this is an NDDC, joining again for another React video. It's time for MLP Season 9, Episode 17. We're so close to the end.
This is the end. This is the end.
No.
Actually, it reminds me, I gotta mention something about the end, which is sort of an interesting format. But I'll save that till when we get into discussion. But first with introductions,
Prepare for trouble and make it double.
Alright. First up, a herd of bronies.
Oh, I'm actually first this time. Hello, you ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. I suck at making videos. I was gonna work on my BronyCon video, and I still haven't released it yet because I've spent the last 2 weeks playing Minecraft. Thanks, PewDiePie.
Oh dear.
Well, you know, when you got a Minecraft, you got a Minecraft.
Minecraft's got a Minecraft.
Well, hey, on the bright side, at least you're not like wasting all that time on Fortnite.
God.
You got a
I
point
never
there.
played Fortnite.
And always look on the bright side of death.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't have anything necessarily against Fortnite, but I also just don't like Battle Royale as a format. Like, I just don't like that game style.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
There we have it, yeah.
I guess next up, Jenn.
Aha, I'm ready this time. Hello everyone, this is Jen, and ready to watch the episode.
Alright. Next up, Second and Day Lover.
Hello. This is your second opinion and day lover.
Yay, making it second day. Still,
But you probably knew that by now.
yeah.
And so the second day arrived.
Yes, second day.
Oh my god. So good.
From SpongeBob's training, the Krusty Krab training video. Yes.
And perfect timing.
Yep, and following that up, Carlos.
Hello there, this is Get Metal Gator here to tell you all the Invader Zim is back. And the wonderful voice talentings of our dear friend Zim is returned as long as you guys support it on Netflix. Come on, watch it. Professor Membrane is busted! Metaphorical sense. It's still busted!
So wait, what did you say was on Netflix?
Invader Zim entered the orbit.
Oh, yeah, that was on it. Oh, yeah, that was, yeah, it was, I remember hearing it was on Netflix. I was saying, like, Infinity Train was on Netflix. It's like, oh, if it's that convenient, I actually will try it out probably this weekend.
Check it. Convenience train!
Yeah, check it. Hi, train.
Yeah.
The train fell off the tracks.
What was I supposed to do?
Continue.
You were supposed to drive. You were supposed to steer the train into the next track.
Really?
But instead, we got off the track, and now we are careening through in a fiery ball through the forest.
No, the train is backing up like the train of the Crystal Empire train.
Multi-track drifting.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that means I'll get another chance.
So that's what it is. Wait a minute. I'm up. Everything looks so different when you're upside down.
That's the sound of the men in jail. Kick back, working on the railway. Kick back, working on the railway.
Yeah.
And now we're just in a completely different world.
Yeah.
Yay.
We gonna start now or what?
Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We got to the end track.
Wait.
And Wednesdays.
We're back on the track.
For a second, yeah, I was just looking at the speech bubbles. I thought Alex dropped out for a second, but I was like, oh yeah, it's just a different format from Hangouts.
No problem.
Let's just hope I don't drop out or something, because it just drops out. It's like it phases me out. Like it's like I disappear.
All right, everyone get their episode up and ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, everyone press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go.
King character.
Yay!
Okay. Measure up with these guys.
Evil!
Can't you just do it yourself?
Power.
If you're more powerful than all of them?
Can we just turn her into a raised pig now?
Odds are asleep. Post ponies.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I'm starting to get.
But do you know how it works? Yeah. No.
I'm starting to get the feeling that he is intentionally
it only works
allowing
with
him.
Come on. Where the bronies are as well.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's 3.
Are you serious now?
Are we gonna just continue to hear the story of their bonding?
Maybe.
My God!
I mean, it's great.
Can one of them cook Closey Glue, please?
Maybe.
Actually, there would be something just a little bit brilliant if this giant climax we're building towards is actually no climax at all. They just overthrow Grogar, and then they're like, hey, you know what? Never mind. Maybe there is something to this friendship.
Oh no!
God, that would be so anticlimactic.
Yeah, yes, it would.
Oh God, please don't.
Please don't. Please annihilate Closey Glue.
I can see that being played okay. You know what? We all know how these giant climaxes go. Let's
Celestial Luna.
try an epic betrayal instead.
That would be. I agree.
Really?
Really? Really, Twilight? After 9 seasons, you finally admit it?
Some great continuity.
I don't know why, but I feel like in terms of continuity, Celestia seems a little big in this frame. Compared to Luna and Twilight, she seems a little taller than normal.
Well, maybe she's still growing. Who knows?
They're canceling the holiday.
What?
Are we doing this again? Now! Not now! Now! Not now.
No, I actually think they're serious this time.
They played this in the finale trailer. What?
Did they? Well, who wouldn't?
Okay, the episode about Twilight's character growth, mellowing out on this. Funny thing is, we were doing development with her overcoming this.
You're gonna get more work, Dad.
3, but then the last few seasons, it was their only go-to character trait for Twilight.
Discord! Yay!
Well, technically.
He's dead. Oh no.
Want a hand?
So let's establish once again that this trait is flipping.
They fold out. Oh, never mind.
What have you done with Twilight?
Oh no! Twilight's a changeling. She's a changeling. Run, everybody!
I disagree, Discord. It's moderately interesting. It's just kind of abrupt.
She's a changeling. She's a changeling. Bye, Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that should be easier with all the hustle and bustle.
Exactly.
Well, more characters.
Oh yeah, that continuity.
Hey! Told you Michael Vogel takes his time on this stuff.
At least she didn't shapeshift into Princess Cadence again.
Come on, tell me there's a code here. Okay. Don't you guys have any protocol?
What?
Okay.
You'd think Chrysalis would be a little smarter than that. Oh boy.
Did we need it? That.
What?
Now all of the evildoers.
Discordy.
Discordy.
That teleport
Just
location
everything.
was a bit contrived.
Chrysalis could just turn into one of them, be like, hey, I'm Rainbow Dash with Rainbow Dash Authority, let me in. Or better yet, Twilight.
She could do that. I mean, she's shapeshifted as royalty before, but
Assuming they would fall for that now.
Yeah, I don't think they would fall for that because, like, it has. Oh,
my God.
Pinky, you're the worst.
Brayburn!
We're giving attention to Brayburn after what they did to his character. Thank you, Season 9. Maybe there might be a redemption yet.
What the heck is with that
Oh,
pinky
man.
face? Okay, I want to read that.
oh.
He's back.
Oh no.
Isn't that supposed to make her lose her cutie mark?
Maybe he's only taking a little bit of magic.
If they acknowledge that.
All of it.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
So yeah. So he's at the.
Interesting.
Okay. It's,
Oh,
It's
brother.
just
okay,
eating
Food
magic
is not
powder
going to get up and attack you people.
Well,
Thank you,
still,
Brayburn.
He's like, oh yeah.
So he's at the point we know he needs so much power before he can steal magic that's not unicorn. So he's at that point by now.
Oh my God. Shiver takes a pie and walks away.
Nicely done, Fluttershy.
Everything is wrong.
Gosh dang it, Rainbow.
No pressure.
I knew. This is why wanted posters are useful.
Yep.
Shit.
Don't fall for
Well,
her.
they don't know if that she escaped. Do they?
Well,
No, but
no, we haven't established that.
Yeah, you're right. But like in general, like saying, "Hey, this pony really screwed up Equestria." Like that was
Consider
wanted.
more famous.
oh wow.
I guess it's
Okay.
newspapers.
You look different, Sassy Saddles.
That's supposed to be Sassy Saddles.
I don't know, but it looks
Wait
like
a minute,
her.
that can't be her.
New pony, okay. Never mind.
Works ponies.
Well, in 2 seconds I thought it was Saddles. Sorry.
Is that...
Really?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, tell me
Oh.
that.
Oh.
Well, of course, you can just say stuff like that in this world, and because that's how the conflict needs to work, but like,
Yeah, I seen that trick coming.
There it is.
Oh yeah, maybe a good idea. Yeah.
Right.
You know, tutorial.
Little does she know, in the background, there's something a brewing for an epic freakout.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone still here?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
so yeah, some random pony gets you to defy the princesses.
Yeah, I think it would have been better if it would have just been like one of them disappeared for a second and Chrysalis came in and did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't learned this lesson.
They're gonna try and keep it from Twilight so she doesn't freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, they're totally going to do that.
Because I'm the
You need to
element of
learn this
honesty.
lesson again.
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow, your honesty.
She'll go back to lesson 0.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have Twilight lose all this new character development that she suddenly got this episode.
Oh my god, Discord is
Oh, that's-
genius!
Discord
That's
fixes
funny.
everything.
Yeah.
Hey,
Discord literally does fix everything.
holy heck, he really does. Well, we'll see.
Oh my god. Discord,
Yeah, Twilight
you are
did say that
Jesus.
he was not allowed to.
Discord, Jesus.
Well, I didn't hear what he said. Did he say he's not going to help because it's up to them?
I guess.
Evil little thing.
Yeah.
Hey, actually,
That was
though,
a
they do
long
need to be
pause.
careful because Discord is more powerful than all of them, at least at this stage.
Dr. Pie's in the house.
Really.
Funny, Pinky.
Well, Pinky, you can eat everything and be fine.
Not the muffins from Cutie Map.
Oh, good distraction.
Barely necessary, I think.
This is actually kind of a smart plan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh god.
Oh,
Second card. Gonna have more stuff for Reviver to complain about. But no, let's see. Using the knock spell.
What did they do?
Oh, hey, look, trailer
Oh,
footage.
yeah.
Okay, I don't know how Cozy Glow made super weather, if that's the implication. Goose is on the case.
What?
Oh, hey, continuity from Sparkle 7. Oh my
Chrysalis.
Maybe.
Ah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Good catch there.
Very.
Already.
Okay, a few words from Chrysalis gave them an existential crisis. Made them question their whole entire life.
Aw.
Yeah. Yep.
Once again.
Oh.
What have you done with Twilight?
She's a changeling! She's a witch!
So maturity is
She's a witch! Oh no!
Okay. Oh, nice.
Cool.
You moved from.
What
What the heck?
that?
Oh, okay.
He kicked it out of the TV show. Sorry, Steven Universe, you've got a little rain coming.
My gosh.
It's the void. You get it if you understand about the gumball war.
Evil!
That was a nice touch, though. I liked that.
Ooh.
Oh, that doesn't look like, something you want to steal.
Yeah. Well, Cozy, you might have to.
That was funny.
This is interesting background music.
Yeah.
Oh.
And, okay. I'm just to see if their minds being changed. Like, I'm legitimately asking. Is there
No.
mid-montage, they're back to, okay, this is worthwhile stuff.
Yeah, I think like this saw all of the ponies and was just like, okay, it's. Yeah. Nice.
Yay!
The beauty of an actual organized 7th celebration.
A new celebration.
Did anyone see that? The doctor, like holding Rose?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
cute.
Really putting on to the whole Series 10 canon of Doctor Who.
Oh.
The Two Sisters Festival!
What the heck is with the animation right now?
I don't know. Uh-huh.
It seems like they literally just sped it up.
Pinky's like, you're giving me so much franchising on these brand new holidays. Oh.
Like some
So-
upcoming Doom.
Yeah, the fact that several ponies ain't getting their magic back anytime soon. Mm-hmm.
Oh God, Discord.
So what did he find?
Was that what happened?
Off screen, huh?
Oh. Because you're evil! And it's surprisingly
Yeah,
good
reminder.
plan.
Eternal screaming. Mm-hmm.
What are the feeling that's exactly what Grogar wants?
Uh-huh. And what he found, what magical item that he found now that he can retrieve.
I mean,
If he found the Necronomicon book, I'm going to...
Oh my God.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yay.
Restart
the last part?
war.
Oh, really?
They're gonna restart Heartwarming Eve's inciting
Oh,
incident.
no.
This is gonna be lovely.
One more episode, and I still don't get my cozy glow annihilation.
Yeah.
By the way, I found my sketch.
Woo.
It was in a very treasured spot on the nightstand right next to me.
shit.
Isn't it always like run it right in front of you, the things that you need? It's like,
Yes,
oh my
it's-
God.
it serves as a reminder for life goals.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as Grogar being on top of the situation, though, I could see them kind of going either way with it. Because I mean, I've hoped for less clever things from the show than that and been let down. But I mean, it also has pulled some clever twists, so I really could see that working out either way.
Yeah, I have a feeling something like he has like an all-seeing eye sort of thing. So like he always is watching them, is like so he's aware of what they're doing, and it's like I don't know, like I feel it's gonna be in between of like he knows what they're doing, but also he doesn't. It's like I feel it's gonna be somewhere in between of that, and if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, no, well, that's the compromise approach. Like they get away with it to an extent, but he still has to be the big bad. I mean, there's a ton of ways they could go with that. Like, but yeah, I mean, usually when this show, or at least I'm used to when the show lays out some like a pretty straightforward approach. Like what's the first one that would come to mind? Like
Here's
as usual, it's not the best example, but like Flurry Heart, where the season 6 premiere, I guess it was, where it looked like they were gonna have her from the trailer just like sneeze and cause snowpocalypse, and people were like, yeah, no, that sounds pretty silly. That they're probably just simplifying for the real thing. And no, that was almost exactly it. She cries and snowpocalypse happens.
But actually, I was just saying, like, I guess they could also do a very Shyamalan like twist and like say Grogar was Discord the whole time.
Oh
No!
There's a lot of twists they could do.
I don't think I honestly don't think the way the show is going with plots and like reforming villains and all that this season, like I don't think they're going to go that, because that would be like an old Discord trick, not a current Discord trick.
I mean, that could be. I mean, like Discord is sitting there watching this. That did seem a little bit ominous. And then like shortly after Grogar gets back, like if he's just I don't know, screwing with the frenemies to make one final test for Twilight.
That's what I was saying, like, the Shyamalan twist would be is basically along the lines of, like, this is all a test for Twilight. But, yeah, I'm just...
It sounds a little high concept for,
Yeah.
I hope like the magical item that Grogar found was either the Necronomicon book or the, what's that, the equal to capture cutie marks and equal stone.
Oh. I kind of hope it. I kind of hope it's like it's something that'd be like, I knew you three. Reason why I knew you three were gonna try and pull something behind my back. You actually think I trusted you guys? You're all too stupid. I'm Drogar, and my item isn't the bell. It's something else. It's the Necronomicon.
You stupid!
You all stupid. They're like, you stupid, and you just evil.
You're so stupid.
Yeah, that's so stupid. That's so stupid, though. But you the flying one. You deserve to be on a plate with an apple in your mouth. Okay. Harping on that too much. My apologies.
Yeah, but I don't know. That wouldn't be the worst climax. I guess like they legit do defeat the frenemies, and then Grogar pops up and like maybe lends an assist in defeating them, and then it's like, yeah, it was just Discord all along. Congratulations, you really are ready for anything, because this was everything at once.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I think it were really that I think I would probably lose all whatever respect or love I had for Discord.
Yeah.
Or I'd turn, if I could have gathered the whole family and be like, I knew he was not reformed, so all of you owe me $50 each.
Well, like at least DC's theory was that he would be testing them to make sure they were ready, like not actually putting them in a scenario where he couldn't stop the frenemies from beating them if he wanted.
But I did
by presenting them with a threat that they don't even know about. Great test.
Chess game in motion. Realistic as possible, of course. In fact, nothing you can come up, literally nothing you could ever come up against will be as difficult as my test. Which is why I only picked characters who are less powerful than I am.
Yeah.
And then Discord, and then all of a sudden, like Discord, like I don't know, morphs into a final form-ish kind of thing.
Wouldn't the biggest test be like Celestia and Luna going evil, or Discord going berserk, or maybe Starlight going evil again?
Well, they've already defeated Discord twice, and Tyrek is technically the biggest. Like in past seasons, Tyrek would probably have to check in as the biggest threat they've faced so far.
And now he has power.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, so yeah, him teamed up with other ponies that are powerful could be the greatest challenge in and of itself, but yeah, Grogar is kind of the joker in the deck here. Like, we don't know exactly what his limits are, or what he...
we don't know his limits, but like they teased what power he has in like the premiere.
He's definitely able to overpower them as is, so it's like, okay, how much does he need this bell or this other source of power? What does he need it for? Is there a particular reason he doesn't think he's ready to do this on his own, or is there like some master plan he has that he knows will end for a fact with him on top?
Like, no doubt. Well, which he thinks will end on top.
Yeah. And just like there's still a lot of question marks surrounding him.
All the more Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying I thought it was a nice episode, and we got a new rainbow dash trick. Lasering rain clouds with a rainbow.
Does anybody knows, like, it was so easy for ponies to turn on each other. It was like, oh no! Cozy Girl's gonna start civil war!
Yeah, Chrysalis liked that too. Yeah.
All the more why she's evil!
No, they're all evil.
I mean, just evil enough to be past redemption or anything, and just annihilation. She's past redemption. Past Tartarus can't even hold her. And it's just we need to go to the annihilation route. I don't care if it's for kids or not. They're gonna find out about it at some point.
Alright. Something in Cozy
It'll be
Glow
for the
has
greater
hit Jen's hell no
good.
button.
It'll be for the greater good. It'll be a mercy killing. It'll be a mercy annihilation. It'll be for the mercy of the entire world.
I mean, I'd say it's hard to imagine a scenario that ends with Cozy on top and not subservient to some more powerful character, but the second I say that, somebody's gonna be, create the story of where it is her on top just because that sounds so backwards.
Oh, boy.
She did want to be the queen of friendship, so...
Something like that, yeah.
Because she thinks friendship is power.
Hey.
Well, it kind of sort of is that as well as everything else.
Yeah. Two is stronger than one.
Friendship isn't power, but it depends on how you look at it.
Like they have a super rainbow laser. I don't know if that
super rainbow laser.
The super rainbow laser, the reform program that really, really expedites the process.
Yeah.
Super rainbow laser. I'm missing something.
Well,
made up of all of the qualities essential to being a well-rounded and fit individual. Honesty, kindness, laughter, loyalty, and generosity, and just plain the magic. Not having your soul sucked out. And all of them combined creates the most expedited reform school ever.
Yes.
Reforming.
In other words, the point where you're like, taste the rainbow.
Yes.
I
Reforming
get it now.
the depressed pony pony who gave into, depressed schizophrenia and had to be commissioned for 1,000 years on the moon. And
oh yeah.
Program there, and
but try
stabilizing the chaos.
Yeah, but try to imagine if the evil frenemies can make the rainbow of darkness and make a weaponize that. I don't know.
That would be
Rainbow of darkness. That sounds really depressing.
If that's the thing Grogar found, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Like in the old show, it was the Rainbow of Shadows or Rainbow of Darkness.
No, it was the Rainbow of...
what was it?
I'm pretty sure it was the Rainbow of Darkness.
Darkness
and Light. Rainbow of Light, Rainbow of
Yeah,
Darkness.
but the rainbow that turns Applejack and some of the other ponies into
monsters,
monsters.
Oh, okay. So almost like nightmare versions of themselves.
Yeah. So imagine Grogar found that pouch that it beats like a heart for some odd reason.
The first
find that
My Little Ponies special ever created could have been one of the most metal things to come out of the 80s if it wasn't so rushed that it to the point where it came off more like fan fiction by the most sugar jacked up child ever.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know what we need to do. We need to make
a
version of My Little Pony.
I know what it is. It's the Rainbow of Nightmares.
Yay.
Now that sounds metal.
Before everyone tunes out
the Rainbow of Nightmares. I like it.
Screw the rainbow. Let's take over the entire sky.
Why not?
Forget tasting the rainbow. It's time for some dark chocolate, mofos.
Yeah, forget the rainbow. Yeah, forget all the rainbows. Let's get some spikes on. Let's get some spikes and some dark leather and. Wait a minute, wrong book.
Or if Grogar got his hooves on that Necronomicon book and everything is in the eyes of the beholder and Grogar's everything needs to be dark and evil and damper. Everybody needs to be evil and Yeah, that's...
Okay, that said, is there a reason we're not discussing the episode very much?
Because we're off on a tangent again.
Yeah.
Oh dear, we were off. Oh dear, we went off the tracks again.
Yay!
Again.
Like, this is like standard, you know.
I mean, well, I will say, like, Michael Vogel did give me a lot of the expected Michael Vogel effort. Like, he remembered continuity.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it was, like, his idea or a greater plan from the season editors or something to try to progress Twilight's character, but, I mean, he definitely went in on that. I took jabs at this episode for that, but I mean, like, it's kind of weird. Like, I almost have sympathy for this episode more than I'm, like, don't feel for it all, because it kind of has to do all the heavy lifting on Twilight's quote-unquote character growth by itself. Like, I mean, if you think about, Fluttershy becoming sassy shy, I mean, what was it called with, Scaremaster, where she decides to give Nightmare Night a try. I mean, that did leapfrog off of all of one episode, the Philly Vanilli one, like, well, I was afraid to try singing, maybe I could try this. That was still more or less enough. I mean, that was cool to see that go hand in hand, and that, yes, she'd kind of been becoming less shy over time. I mean, the earlier Fluttershy episode, she was past the point where she couldn't even, like, say what was on her mind or introduce herself to somebody without freezing up or becoming excessively quiet or something like that. I mean, Twilight, like, all the way back in season 3, they were toying with, okay, how to make this better. I mean, she had her, lesson 0, Twilight needs to learn this lesson. Games ponies play, Cadence starts teaching her to breathe and relax. Season 4, she even started to get a couple of the Mary Sue complaints, like she's mellowed out now, and for the record, I was not really in support of those. I was willing to buy that Twilight just wasn't having a lot of bad days right after the biggest triumph of her life to date, but afterwards it felt like I don't know if they were aware/concerned of the Mary Sue complaints, but I mean, like, Twilight's neuroticism, and so they've just been kind of leaning into that as her go-to character trait, like, not even one that needs to be fixed, just like, that's what it means to be a great planner. She's gets the job done, but she's so wacky. Like, they've been leaning into that for a long time, and then this episode, after the last time she was going to take over, hey, more of that neuroticism, and then this episode has to be the start point and the end point of that. Like, hey, guess what? I've changed now. I think I've got this under hand. What about this thing that could turn her back to spazzing out? And, like, she's like, and then we finally drop the bomb, like, no, I really have changed. Like, that has almost no weight behind it, because there's nothing to give it weight. This isn't Fluttershy saying, like, I've been taking baby steps. Maybe it's time for grown-up ones. It's like, we have talking about that Twilight. We 100% just have to take her word for it, because there was no process to get there. There's not another episode that was explicitly about, like, okay, starting here, and then I get to this end point where I'm better at it now. It's like she just decided today that she's better at it, and I guess we have to take her word on that.
Well, I think I get what you think your issue is, which I sort of agree with. It's not necessarily that there's a shift with Twilight, it's just that it's basically a complete about face compared to the last episode, especially, where it just seems like she's like, okay, I got everything under control, like a snap of a finger sort of thing, which just, like, this like, for example, I was saying for Fluttershy, that transition was over seasons, and, like, it felt realistic. Well, here it just feels very sudden and jarring.
True.
Well, I think I get what you think your issue is, which I sort of agree with. It's not necessarily that there's a shift with Twilight, it's just that it's basically a complete about face compared to the last episode, especially, where it just seems like she's like, okay, I got everything under control, like a snap of a finger sort of thing, which just, like, this transition was over seasons, and, like, it felt realistic. Well, here it just feels very sudden and jarring.
True.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, heck, Fluttershy, even, like, the major changes, they almost went, like, okay, last episode she did this, so she should be at this point now. I mean, like, most of it really is just, yeah, one episode to the next, like, just playing off of the last episode, which, I mean, I'd say really made it work. This is, like, I don't know, it seems like a pretty good depiction of the last step of this change, which is showing us how she deals with stuff now that she's got this under control. But I mean, like, the rest all happened off screen, and like, we'd better make her good at this now, like say that she's advanced in this way because it's the last season and all that. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if I can forget the episode. I don't even know if I can blame this season because the last at least 3, maybe 4, like, I mean, I don't know. As far back as season 5, didn't we hear people start, like, circulating the defense to anything involving Twilight that, well, she's done. Her character growth is done. It's not her story anymore. She has to be in the mentor role. Like, and now, because it's suddenly the final season, it's like, okay, well, what do we have that would be the most, like, that could most prominently be the final thing? Okay, well, Twilight fully assumes the only princess role. Like, I mean, the friendship school barely got started. The other stuff, Starlight and the Pony of Shadows and the Pillars, that, like, was all sort of, I mean, the next season's way to pick all of those up was kind of like, that was fun, next thing. So, I mean, what else have they got? It may as well be Twilight. Finishes the most important thing we could ever see her do since the last one. But the thing about that is they have to, make her the main character again, well and truly, and then not just like make lip service to how she's the one in charge. Every so often show how she's so because she's neurotic, and that's dusting off a lot of old notions that we just kind of were led to assume weren't a thing anymore. I mean, but then again, I suppose, like, if they wanted to say that, okay, this is Twilight becoming a better leader, overcoming that neuroticism and stuff, I mean, like, we could have had an episode that said that showed her specifically having to solve a problem that wasn't being solved because she wouldn't approach it with a level enough head. They could have set that up instead of just showing us the end point with no setup. No transition, at least. So, maybe could have been planned a little better. Although, this episode specifically, I mean, it seems like it's doing its job at least okay as the end point. I don't even know if I can blame it all that much. Like, it honestly seems like it's for what it sets out to do for itself. It seems like it works with what it has pretty well.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think for that problem, you'd have to take a look at how many times before that same problem has occurred. Like, how many times she's freaked out when things have gone wrong, and just discuss how you could have changed it so it would lead up better to this point.
Yeah, or heck, I mean, oftentimes, like, one problem where it's just like, okay, you either got to change or you fail. Like, one problem that's finally big enough to do it can sort of be the thing. I mean, heck, her freaking out having to take over for Luna and Celestia last time, I mean, in the season opener, I mean, I don't know, they told her to stop stressing out about that. She did learn to believe in herself, but I mean, like, I don't know, that's doesn't explicitly speak to her neuroticism, and they don't explicitly tie back to that here, and I mean, and I know that yeah, anyone who wants that to be the key moment could be like, no, that's what makes it good writing, that they just let you observe it for yourself. But I mean, like, okay, if there's nothing explicitly even making it the intention, then I mean, it's, yeah, it feels like the fun of seeing it happen is lost, that you're tying it together for yourself. It's like, what, that Family Guy joke, like, I did good? Shut up. I did good. I did good. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think there's such a thing as there's a point where you actually have to do it, and I feel like heck, it could have been a powerful moment seeing Twilight go from stuck in that to finally getting over that. And I mean, this episode, I mean, am I just crazy here? It kind of starts with her already over it.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. But I really thought it was funny with the Discord being I'm going to save you. No, I'm not.
We need a miracle. Him popping up as Jesus was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was what.
Discord Jesus.
And if Discord, that was probably what you said. It was that kid was like, Discord really does fix everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, has Discord fixes everything gone up online?
I don't know.
Don't you know?
So.
Don't know.
Well, I'll look for it, but I don't know. Otherwise, like, I mean, it's an episode, like, it has to do a lot for itself, and I mean, I get not just Twilight either, though. The frenemies thing, like, it's fun to see them work together, but they have to rush a couple of things, like Chrysalis turns into some random pony and tells these ponies that doesn't speculating on what you could do make you greedy with power, and then the ponies chosen by the princesses for the most important task in the land are now harumph, we are too good for this because of the opinion of one random pony.
Yeah, that did seem a little ridiculous. But that was like their way of kind of spreading discord in a sense.
Yeah, which I mean is a fine idea. Just, I mean, it seems like they had to rush it in points like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with that.
Okay. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the best way I could think to describe this episode. Like one that puts a lot on its own plate, or maybe it was pushed on the writer. I don't know, and uses some notable skill to get a lot of the job done, but sometimes has to or settles at least for straight up taking shortcuts to do so. So I mean, that's where, like, I guess a potential A goes to more of a B for me. Just like
Let's
what
see.
could have been the most powerful part, especially since what could have been, to me, the most powerful parts are instead the most noticeably rushed.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was still pretty good, and they did, and it was and the villains weren't exactly like really useless, and they actually had a pretty decent plan for going on in the background. It seemed like there were two different stories kind of going on all at once, but throwing you for a loop there, like Twilight not freaking out and such. That was a pretty gutsy move to put in there, but yeah, I'm with you second. I think I give it a B too.
Like I view that as like Twilight just like reminiscing about how that the same problem has happened too many times before, and now she's like, you know what? I've done this too many times. I'm gonna put my foot down now and just not freak out.
Like at the very beginning,
Yeah.
or the point
At
where
the
she's
climax.
like, enough.
Well, not like a little bit after that, where she actually says, you know what? I would have freaked out about this, but I'm not.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I would have been like I honestly would have been more impressed if she'd said, like, okay, well, even if you don't trust me not to freak out, do you not trust me as your leader here, or whatever the nicer way to say that would be, like, as one who handles these problems? I mean, I'd like to think that, we've been doing this for a pretty long time here, and I've made sure to step it up, have I not? Like, it's like I said, I really have changed, like, this transformation in me has really been that powerful. Like, that's where, like, I just feel like that, just saying, no, I really have changed. I feel like that doesn't carry any weight to me, because it's like, okay, based on what? Like, we just kind of have to take her word for it. Like, based on what she's
based
doing
on
right
what we
now,
saw, based on what we saw, like, right after, like, she took care of the problem without freaking out.
Yeah, so it's like something has, she has all this new confidence that we never actually saw her get. She just has it. It's like I said, it feels like a pretty solid display of the final step to a process that we didn't really get to see the first half of, or heck, anything but the last step.
And if only if certain plot points from season 3 were to carry on to like season 9. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Hint, hint, nudge. Hint, hint.
It's I could totally get what you how you feel about like Twilight like suddenly being like, oh, I'm back to season 4 Twilight, in which I could have had the competency to rule this kingdom at that point, but we had to delay everything for another 5 seasons to get to this point.
Well, to be fair, like, overcoming a challenge, this certain challenge doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready to do something you haven't been trained for. Like, they could spin that, okay, maybe not ready to take over for Celestia and Luna yet, but,
It seems like they're going to now.
Well, of course they are now, but I don't know. I can accept that she still had another, process to go through before she was ready for that, but hey, I don't know. Like, my view on neurotic Twilight, well, I said it already. I feel like it's been their go-to. Hey, let's make Twilight. That's what makes Twilight interesting, right? She's all cutesy and neurotic and stuff. Like, I feel like that's been their go-to for a while, and now they want to fix a trait that they haven't been portraying, arguably not even until this very episode, as a trait to be fixed. They used to for as far back as season 3, maybe farther back, and then they then they put it down, and then they made sure to pick it up above all other things again, because it was like the only thing it was like a nice easy, hey, that's Twilight's personality, neurotic and stuff. And now this episode wants to tell us that, Waka Waka Twilight has been leading towards a character growth bit. Just like it was before 6 years ago, except this time we really mean it. This time we should believe it's important and stuff because it's the final season, instead of when it was happening and about the place that would fit for it to happen in.
I just feel like it doesn't help that the last episode before this was quite literally like extremely exaggerated around the Twilight, the episode.
That's right too.
Well, that's neurotic in a different sense, though.
But it still is like her just being like that for like even if it's for a passion, it's like no one's gonna forget that episode.
There goes my half defense where well, maybe they meant the season opener to be the growth or whatever.
Oh my god! I actually wanted to argue for against second opinion.
I'm on your side either way, because that already would have seemed like a thin argument to me, but it doesn't hold up.
Oh, writers. If only if you didn't put certain episodes next to each other, it wouldn't weaken the impact of this development now, would it?
Although then again, the different cut, like something being extra, I don't know. It's pretty clear they're trying to claim there was an arc where there's only an end point. I would say that.
Oh, by the way, have you guys been discussing about Cozy's or like Cozy's machinations for what could possibly be like the finale for like the Civil War concept, like bringing back like the whole race problem?
No,
Well, she and Chrysalis did seem keen on that. They've been toying with the idea of doing something with that for a little while. I mean, I guess I could see this being their kind of now or never moment, like a lot of things.
Like have it be like a problem that's like, we're dealing with a societal problem in which racism has been brought back into the forefront. All these unconscious terms and like criticisms about certain races, and we're bringing it all in the forefront, causing division and such. That's what I mean.
Oh boy. Oh, Cozy Glow, well, we already know how evil you are. You have to drive it home some more.
Maybe.
Oh, apparently she's not evil enough.
Like, maybe they will become so evil, so they become like something else. I don't know.
Or maybe they'll like, I don't know, Grogar will take them all and then like magically mash them all together to be like a Voltron like kind of thing.
That would be amusing.
That would be quite amusing.
Actually, on the flip side of that, since Tyrek and Chrysalis are not unintelligent villains, like you if you look close, could you maybe catch the show subtly working overtime to make sure Cozy doesn't lag too far behind on that? Like, her disaster is the most imminently noticeable. Like, Chrysalis gets a few ponies to quit, Tyrek gets a few ponies to feel sick, and Cozy causes a whole giant storm. Or what? Cozy's the one who finds the book in the library and breaks it out. Like the last episode with the three villains seem to want you to know that, okay, no, we're not saying that the other two's thing is not being smart. It's a different way. This one now seems like, okay, we better make sure that Cozy is not seen as the one who's like, what is she doing here?
They gotta make sure she pulls her weight in this evil thing too.
Yes, we're talking about like every villain is evil group. That is right. Every villain is lemons, you know? Every villain is lemons. You always gotta remember that. There's a
Every villain is sacred. Every villain is something. How does that song go from Monty Python?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's not go there is sacred.
Every villain is sacred. Every villain is evil.
Any other final thoughts on this episode?
Nope.
I'll just say this. This episode had a lot of continuity in it. And not just continuity for the sake of continuity, but continuity that they actually used to great effect.
Yeah, there's a lot of references to the previous Castle episodes. I mean, the break-in episode, which is surprising because that was sort of the just random fun episode, and yet there's so many continuity nods to it.
Yeah, it's true. It draws on what it has to work with, and I mean, the chemistry of the frenemies, I'll stick to calling them, the security thing, the fact that everybody expects Twilight spaz. I mean, even if it did pick a starting point for itself that shows how much this season is scrambling to pass itself off as the pinnacle of what came before. It's still, like, for the point it picked to start at, it did a good job. Like, okay, that was over. But, and they've been Discord with this whole, okay, I'll test you guys. To, like, this is going to be my test. Or no, well, not. I'm going to back off again because you need to be sure that you're ready for this.
Be ready for what?
Taking over the kingdom.
Twilight will be the queen of Equestria, it seems.
No, that's
even if they don't use queen as a title. But,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I guess, final thoughts it was, well, I mean, I didn't make a secret of the fact that it made me roll my eyes a bit. I feel like, yeah, a lot of it's a lot emptier than it could have been, because, we got a lot of finality, season's approach seems to be, we got a lot of finality things to do, we can only do the actual work so much, but I mean, even so, for what it did, I definitely like it better than last few. Maybe my favorite since the last time the frenemies showed up. Actually, no, I did like the student council episode pretty good. That might have been a little more fun. The Bloodbriar turns to stone and the, adventure pocket.
And Maud's like, swoon again.
It has given me a new appreciation for stone. Swoon.
It's given me a new appreciation for getting stoned.
Okay, I'm just wondering something. For like the beginning of like the season finale, are you guys thinking like the Suicide Squad's gonna like go in, but then like they're gonna completely fail with you guys and like build up for the main six to go up against? So what's going on? I'm just saying.
I think Grogar is gonna go like ham.
He's going ham. Damn.
Then we can have the roast. Yay.
Going ham is like another term for like going all out.
I mean, they gotta do it. If he just falls flat, it'll be the worst decision they ever made.
True. He has to at some point. Every villain, I feel like every villain, like, has to have a moment where they just go all out. I mean, that's what makes it so fun.
I mean, it's like they lit a firework. What do you expect to happen? Is it just going to diffuse itself? No, it's going to fly into the air and explode.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I think you're looking for Chekhov's gun is like the expression.
Yeah.
Like his power and all that was like a Chekhov's gun, and we're waiting for it to go off.
But I mean, they got to do at least something a little unique to this show, one way or the other. I mean, just another throwdown with the big bad. I mean, we've seen a lot of those, and visually, I mean, not saying it can't be done. That could be a lot of fun, but I mean, like, who am I kidding? I don't honestly expect Grogar to go down without getting to use his power, but I could see it being unique and interesting if they did. Like, and I'm not discounting the possibility that the frenemies are going to turn against him and become good guys, like, if they're part of the key to taking him down. Otherwise, though...
On another note, I liked how they worked in the subtle theme of changes in all throughout this episode, like, just going back to what you were saying a second, like, how Sun and Nova changed, Twilight made, but, well, like, they kind of embrace that whole theme of changes, like, making small changes to the holiday, and all the note cards being saying how they were just small changes or whatnot. I like that they did that.
What about the small changes to the holiday?
It was just this whole theme, this whole subtle theme of changes throughout the episode. I don't know how to describe it.
guess my champion episode for that would still be, to the ire of some, would be Princess Twilight Sparkle. But yeah, things are changing. How are we going to cope with that? Is it going to change us? All that, like, I mean, this one I think, because we know it's heading towards a finale and everything. I guess I would, if you ask me, I guess I would say it adds the appropriate gravitas for the eras changing, eras ending, new eras, something that symbolizes passing the torch.
Yeah, all in all, I think this was a great setup for the finale.
Yeah.
It makes me like kind of be more and more curious of like what are they gonna pull out for the finale? Excuse me.
It certainly will be something explosive.
I sure hope so. Explosions are nice.
And something very very tearful. I'm very sure. Like even for like the
Tearful could work depending on what it is.
All right. I want to mention something about the finale, but I want to wait till after this react because
all right.
I feel it might spawn a large discussion.
All right.
Okay.
Is that spoilers for something?
Not really spoilers. It's just more of a structure thing.
Okay.
I think I know what it is, but
I think I will let Second handle that and get off because I don't want anything spoiled for me.
Oh wait, what about like how spoilerific is it getting?
Like it's basically like episode order sort of stuff.
Oh.
Okay, and I think I know what it is.
All right, but I guess any other final thoughts in this episode before we sign off?
Great episode.
Good episode.
I think this is like a light touch on the great episode tier. Like definitely feels like it's like the intermissionary episode for like the frenemies to continue on their exploits. Like now that they've seen like their cohesion together,
right?
They're now using them effectively against the main six without them being a detective, which is a better use of like using villains within the season compared to last season's Mean Six. And the less said about that episode, the better.
Wait a minute, what was the comparison to the Mean Six?
About using villains while the heroes are unaware of their misdeeds and such.
From main six to mean six.
No.
Mean Six.
Mean Six to this episode.
Okay.
That was also a Michael Vogel episode, and I don't know. I felt like he brought his writing to that too. Heck, I felt like he had less on his plate with that one, like it was less in its own way. But as for this one, I say, plot was solid. I still say you gotta character growth for it to be great character growth, but I liked it okay.
Yeah.
I still hate that they never found out that they were being messed with. I just hate it.
I guess there could be a setup behind it. There could be you mean wait, you're talking about Grogor not figuring it out?
I'm talking about Mean Six.
Oh, okay. They didn't figure out that somebody was that someone was messing everything up.
Yeah, I mean this episode it's excusable.
I don't mind that. What? At the same time, there. What?
I was just gonna say in this episode, it's fine for them not to know because like it's the villains actually being confident.
And it's also not, fake, like fake entities that appear as their friends. It's not like, oh, now they're gonna think that their friends actually did that stuff. No.
I kind of like that it was not so cut and paste just to think everything needed to be tied up in a neat little bow. I mean, like, I really appreciate the occasional episode acknowledging that sometimes friends fight and you gotta shrug it off.
True.
That, and I have no problem with that as Chrysalis's still being in the game episode. Like, because... yeah, otherwise pulling her back would have been this season that would have been reaching pretty far back, just like hey, we want to use her again, she's somewhere and she's been doing something. It wasn't even the worst plan. It would have worked if the tree hadn't scanned the mean 6 and said file doesn't match.
Yeah. It's not a bad plan for Queen Quissos there. Just an episode's tone of like the shenanigans with like the main 6 not finding out. That can be infuriating to some people. Not to me. I can still feel like it was like a waste of an episode while at the same time being somewhat humorous.
Oh, definitely made me laugh more than some episodes. Well, I mean, heck, one thing I'm at least pretty grateful to that episode for is that the humor, it didn't seem to fall back on, like, hey, this thing is that stupid, or the characters are being that stupid, or that obvious. It's that obvious. How could they be that stupid about the fact that it's that obvious?
I got that sort of what? What's happening?
Now we're briefly debating this is mean 6.
Oh.
It just feels like that. Sorry, go on.
I think that was all she had to say.
Sorry. So it just feels like that episode could have been broken so easily. It was like, PewDiePie, why were you doing X? What are you talking about? I never did X. Whoa. Someone's fooling with us.
Alright, but
Okay.
yeah, that's just yeah. Any other final thoughts on this episode?
No.
No.
I said all I said.
Said them all.
Yeah.
Alright. I think I have to agree with the general sentiment of I thought this was a good episode. I don't think it was a great episode, but I think it was a good episode that was setting up like a hopefully great finale.
Yes.
Hopefully.
All right. We're all hoping
All
for
right.
a great finale.
Yay, bro.
Maybe even a top tier one if it actually surprises and go one step beyond Twilight's Kingdom. I mean,
True.
who knows?
Alright. But with that said, I guess see y'all next week.
Bye.